Hey, third grade, welcome back to another reading lesson. Today, we're going to start a brand new module. We are starting Module 3. I can't believe we've already gotten through 2 modules this school year. Let's go ahead and start learning a little bit more about what Module 3 is all about. Like I just mentioned, today we are starting a new module. We will be starting Module 3, which is all about immigration. Let's take a look at our objective today. Our objective for today's lesson is that we will be able to describe what it means to migrate. Take a closer look at some of the images I have here. What do you think migrate means just based on those pictures? Keep those thoughts in your mind because we'll talk a little bit more about that very soon. Now we have a very important question. What is immigration? Have you ever heard that word before? Maybe you've heard it on the news, you've heard friends or family talk about it, you've talked about this topic in your classes. Have you heard this word before? Now that we've thought if we've heard this word before, on a scale of 0 to 5, how much do you know about the topic immigration? 0 is I don't know anything about it, and 5 is I am an expert on the topic of immigration. Hopefully you answered either 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and my goal is that at the end of this unit, you will know what immigration is, and you'll learn different stories and reasons why people move countries and migrate. Hint, hint as to what immigration is. Let's take a closer look at the definition of immigration. I mean, that's what our module is all about, so we should know what immigration means. Immigration is the process of moving to a new country with plans to live there permanently. And permanently means forever. It's not something that's happening for a little bit of time, it is for a very long, long period of time. So take a look at this definition one more time. Immigration is the process of moving to a new country with plans to live there permanently. When you are leaving the country you live in, that could be the United States, it could be Mexico, it could be India, Vietnam, wherever your home country is, you move away from it and start a brand new life in another country. Now, let's check for understanding to see if we know what immigration means. So let's take a look. If someone is immigrating, are they moving somewhere in the same country? Show me with your thumbs, yes or no. So if they're immigrating, are they moving somewhere in the same country? Meaning they're staying in the same country. Hopefully, I saw you give me a big thumbs down. That is, you are right. That is not correct. If someone is immigrating, they are moving to a new country, not the same country. Now let's check for another understanding. If someone is visiting, are they visiting a new country and going on vacation, relaxing, going shopping, sightseeing? Is that what they're doing when they're immigrating? Give me a thumbs up for yes or a thumbs down for no. Cha-ching, I should have seen you give me a big thumbs down. They are not going on vacation or to visit. They are going to a new country to live there and to stay there. And let's check for one more understanding. If someone is immigrating, are they moving to a new country and staying there? Give me a thumbs up for yes or a thumbs down for no. Oh my goodness, kiss your brains. You're so smart. Yes, when someone is immigrating, they are moving to a brand new country and staying there. Remember, our key word in our definition is permanently, meaning they are staying there, they are not moving. Now that we know exactly what immigration is, we need to take a closer look and ask ourselves, why do people migrate? Let's take a closer look at some of the reasons. When people migrate, they move for different reasons. There are things called push and pull factors. Factors are reasons that make people want to do something. A push factor is a reason for people leaving their country because they are pressured to leave his or her home country. In some of our texts, we'll be able to read about some push factors. But some examples of push factors can be war, can be war, there's not a lot of food, there's not a lot of political stability, meaning that there's problems with the government. So those could be reasons why people leave their country. Now, a pull factor is a reason why people come to the United States and they're drawn or they're attracted to the new country. So maybe they're drawn to a new country because there's a lot of jobs or there's opportunity for a better education or a lot of their families already there. There are reasons that make them want to go. But don't worry, we're going to learn more specific examples of push and pull factors throughout our module. Let's pause there and let's think if we have any personal connections to migrate. What do you think it would be like to move to another country? I've actually experienced this before. When I was 4 years old, my family moved from Virginia, which is here in the United States, and then we moved to Guatemala. And I was really nervous to move because I didn't know anyone there. A lot of my family was in Guatemala, but I had never met them before. So it was really nerve-wracking for me to move there and have to learn now Spanish and get to adapt to a new country. And then when my family was 5, we moved back. We moved from Guatemala to the United States. And although I had already lived in the United States, it was very different for me from moving from Guatemala to the United States because I was already used to living in Guatemala and the way of life there. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think. What do you think it would be like to move to another country? Hold on to all those ideas because you're going to get to type this up in your exit ticket a little bit later. But make sure you keep that in mind. What do you think it would be like to move to another country? Now, let's take a closer look at our Module 3 texts. These are all the texts that we're going to read in Module 3. Take a look at their covers. We'll be reading a book titled Coming to America, The Story of Immigration by Betsy Maestro. Then we're going to read a book called Going Home by Eve Bunting. We'll also read a book called How Many Days to America? A Thanksgiving Story. Another book we'll read in Module 3 is a true book titled Ellis Island. The first immigrants to land on Ellis Island was a 15-year-old Irish girl named Annie Moore by Elaine Landau. And the last book we'll be reading in Module 3 is The Great Migration, Journey to the North by Eloise Greenfield. Which text are you most excited to read? Are you excited to read A, B, C, D, or E? I'm excited to read about all of them. I think I'm a little bit more excited about reading D, Ellis Island, just because I've gotten the chance to visit Ellis Island and I can't wait to read more facts about it. But I know all of our Module 3 texts will be so exciting because we get to learn the stories and journeys of many different immigrants in our Module 3 texts. As we read our Module 3 texts, we have a few focus questions. Our first focus question is, why do people immigrate? And our second focus question is, how does immigration affect people's lives? So keep those questions in your brain as we read all of our Module 3 texts, and we'll be sure to revisit these questions as we are reading our books. By the end of Module 3, you will know people have different motivations to move to a new country or region, but the challenges that they face both in the journey and upon arrival are often similar. We'll also know that the United States is a nation of immigrants and a melting pot of different cultures and ideas. By the end of Module 3, we will also know that we can learn a lot about history by studying the experiences and narratives of individuals. That means their stories and their life. We'll also know that people move to new places for opportunities to improve their lives. And the last thing we will know by the end of Module 3 is that there are adjustments to a new life is difficult and it takes courage and grit. Up next, you will complete the rest of today's lesson in the Google form. You will have an opportunity to tell me more about your personal connection earlier when I asked you what it would be like to go to a new country. After you answer your personal connection, you'll be able to watch a video about Kipsters like you and everything they learned about immigration and what they think it would be like to move to another country. After that, you'll be able to answer your exit ticket. For your exit ticket today, you will be asked a similar question to the one we had in our personal connection today. Your exit ticket question will ask you what might be exciting about moving to another country, but also what might be scary about moving to another country. I can't wait to hear all of your answers to our exit ticket question and continue to read all of our Module 3 texts this module. I hope you have a great time watching the videos and thinking through your responses, and I will see you tomorrow.